Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Squire Squad. It's 2023, and we're back. It's been so long, but we are here, and we are, excited, and we are gonna be working on wrapping up this campaign. It's not just gonna vanish mysteriously and end on a cliffhanger, because it kind of ended on a cliffhanger a little bit last time. Um, let's see. You just watched the intro video, which tells you what we're doing on the channel. There have been some changes since the last time we played this game, some new shows and such, and some schedule changes, but we will talk about all that. If you're here live on Twitch, it's underneath our faces. Otherwise, you can follow us on the various social medias. Oh yeah, last time we played this, Twitter wasn't in a death spiral. It was, still a hell site, but you know, thing things have not been great. I'm just imagining someone is watching like the Squire Squad playlist and going from episode 25 to the one shot to this, and then it's like, oh, yeah, a lot has happened. But let's see. So there is very recently a GGK Hive account. So if you're on Hive, you should follow us there. But the best way to know what we're doing is still to join our Discord, because that's when we post about doing stuff, especially if there are off-the-cuff impromptu streams like Van and Val have been doing Elden Ring a bit recently. Val has also done a whatchamacallit, Nuzlocke in Pokemon Omega Ruby. And so that's something that happens when they have the time. And so you should be following us on Twitch and in the Discord so you know when stuff like that is happening. In terms of scheduled stuff, Thursday is still Elegant Creatures, which is Monster of the Week. I don't know if it had made that system switch the last time we played, but that is still ongoing. Fridays is now a quiet night for GGK. Saturdays is now a double feature of Strixhaven, which is now the Strixhaven Quintet, in the mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern. And then Wings One is Parslings in the afternoon. And is that changing with the next season?
I don't believe so, but you've asked me a number, and I will not know it off the top of my head. It's at 5 EST.
Gotcha. Thank you. So yeah, that is still Parslings, but as I just mentioned, they are going into season 2 of that show. So good time to get caught up or join in for the fun. Sundays is quiet on GGK, but many of us are over on LB's channel in the games over there, which we will be starting a Monster of the Week game there this weekend. Mondays is now the Dragon Age RPG, Red Jenny. And then Tuesdays opposite this is Escape Velocity, which is our Stars Without Number game that David runs. Yeah, that's it for the channel stuff. So I think now we should probably go around and introduce ourselves and say who we are and who we're playing in this game, because it's been a while. So looks like first up on the overlay is David.
Yeah, I'm David, and tonight I am playing Kevin, aka Paragon, of the what the hell's my the Legacy playbook. There we go. I forgot the playbook name, but yeah, that's what's going on tonight.
That'll be your next.
Hey everybody, I'm Wings. I'm going to be playing as Chloe, also known as Hemlock. She's the Doomed playlist, and she's a very angsty teenager with a streak of green hair.
Yep. And then I'm Alex. I run this game. So I am the GM. I do everything everyone else that is not my fellow players here. All right. Are we ready for the recap? Because it has been literal months. Unless we left off, Roz was captured by her mom and put in an anti-magic cage, and she started dismembering herself to find some kind of plant so that she could signal Chloe for help. The rest of the squad was doing some press work after they had. They didn't so much foil a bank robbery as save the hostages from a bank heist, but it was Kevin's debut as Paragon. And so there was some press work that needed to be done there. They were dismissed but told to be on standby, and they went to a nearby coffee shop, Espresso Yourself. There, Subrina ran into Yosef, a friend from school, as the TV in the coffee shop was reporting the bank robbery, and Yosef's support dog, adorably named the Professor, kept sniffing at Subrina. Subrina returned to the table with her friends with their drinks when Chloe noticed that one of the plants in the shop was tapping her shoulder repeatedly, conveying ROS SOS in Morse code. Chloe used her powers to get a lock on the signal from the plant, and the team rushed off across the city. Meanwhile, Roz tried to send another of her hands out to the dandelion that she was using to try and help boost the signal, but she messed up and caused a small magical explosion. One of her mom's shadow minions grabbed her hands and slow clapped them for her as her mother started speaking through the minion. Susurrus told Roz to be patient, that she's preparing for their reunion. She then cut off the distress signal that Roz was sending out to Chloe. Fortunately, the team had gotten to the hipster business district, a former industrial neighborhood full of warehouses that had largely been converted to startup offices. They found that one of the warehouses was noticeably darker than the others, despite the early evening hour, and decided to investigate. Looking inside, they saw an unnatural darkness and decided to bust in, with Paragon running distraction while the others worked on rescuing Roz. They pretty handily took care of the minions, with Paragon whirling through them and Corvid burning them away with her light, and Hemlock absorbing their magical essence, much to Oleander's delight. For those of you who don't remember, Oleander is the entity that appears to be existing within Chloe/Hemlock and is evidently the source of her powers. Roz, meanwhile, was working on escaping her cage during the chaos. Roz's mom was none too happy about all this and sent a giant shadow spider monster to attack them, which was giving them a bit of trouble. Oleander decided that they'd had enough and took over Chloe's body, using their powers to leech extra energy and light from Corvid and Paragon before injecting it straight into the shadow spider, which destroyed it. Afterwards, the team comforted Roz over her concerns that the public would think she's once again working as her mom's sidekick. Subrina told her that she could have a new family with the team, in a delayed Uno reverse from the conversation that they had previously had with Subrina about finding family in the team for herself. The team also assured her that they were doing good work and told her about the bank robbery that they had stopped earlier. Roz finished up by explaining that despite her efforts to set up a magical ward around the city to protect her from her mom, that in fact it was completing the ward that is what got her caught in the first place. Chloe suggested that perhaps they could now alter the completed ward to be effective against Susurrus and other threats, but as she chimed in, the others started asking Chloe what the hell had happened with her powers back there. And so, let me turn the music a little bit more suspenseful. This is too bright and cheery for what I think this conversation may be like. So, Yes, that is a good question. So, are there any other questions about what has happened or what happened last time before we get started? Because it has been a minute.
Well, what was Chloe's perspective like of that? Like of Oleander taking over? Like, was Chloe aware of that, or is this like a blackout, wake up, and then like everything has happened situation? Like, how'd that go down?
Yeah, let me double check my notes. Hmm. I don't specifically have that in my notes, and I'm not gonna go back in and watch the the last episode now. But I guess
I I don't know if we specifically said like that we should I like we should decide now.
yeah. I guess which is more narratively interesting to you? Do you think that Chloe would be aware when Hemlock took control of the body, however briefly?
Um, I think the way that it works is that, and it's slightly insidious in this sense. Whenever Oleander takes over, it's in a way that makes it feel like Chloe did it herself, even if it's something that she wouldn't necessarily want to do.
Okay. And is she aware that Oleander is doing that, or does she think that it is her own choices that is doing it, even if in retrospect she's like, wait, why would I do that?
I think she's starting to come to the realization that it's not her doing that.
Okay. Good to know.
Um, so like what's the lead in? Like who asks the question like, "Hey, Chloe, what the fuck?"
Wasn't it Paragon? Because he Kevin was kind of drained of power, right?
Yeah, it
Wasn't
was
that the thing?
yeah, it was Kevin
Mhm.
and Subrina who had been leached some. And not to ignore LP's question, I think you have left the scene of the crime, as it were. You are away from the warehouse. You're probably on a roof someplace. I guess, would any of you have signaled the paladins to be like, hey, this is what happened? Or was this more of a, because from what I recall, it was more of a, oh no, Roz is in danger right now. We need to go. We can't waste any time. But now that there's some, excuse me, some breathing room, and we'll say, you're out of the district. Um, Does anyone signal the paladins, or are we more worried about the, hey, Chloe, what the fuck?
Hmm. Yeah, and then leave because yeah, we beat the bad guys right before we left.
Yeah,
We weren't like retreating.
yeah. All the minions in the magical darkness had gone. The warehouse was kind of destroyed in the battle. I mean, it's not like completely leveled or anything, but there was extensive damage. Not all of it from you. Some of it from the minions taking over from the whoever was there in the first place, um, which we learned in the one shot, but you all don't necessarily know that right now.
Oh yeah, I forgot we learned that in the one shot. Yeah, I think we would have called the paladins, and Kevin would have been on board unless Roz specifically didn't want to call the paladins, and then he wouldn't have wanted to either.
Yeah, no, I think Roz kind of absent-mindedly is like, yeah, yes, call the paladins, but is more uh more worried about the present moment. And even though there has been that reassurance of like, no, you're not your mother's sidekick, you are doing good work, you are a hero. It's still, it's been a traumatic evening for her. Yeah. Yeah, you could. I'm I'll say I'm fine having playing Roz and chiming in for this scene, or we can just have her sent off. Because I guess for me it would feel weird to just have her go off on her own back to headquarters. So maybe you all go back to headquarters with her before having this conversation. Up to you.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So yeah, Yep. So I guess that will then raise a question. So we're not going to retcon that you were already like, "Hey, Chloe, what the fuck?" But we'll say that you haven't had time to get into that conversation just yet. So now the question is, once you're back at HQ and you're being debriefed, do you bring up what Chloe did during the encounter?
Definitely. Yeah, when we're alone.
Yes. So it is not included in your official report.
No.
Okay.
No. No.
Okay. All right. So we'll say that it's getting later in the evening. I can never remember what day of the week I set it in. We'll say it's not a school night, so you don't have to worry about that just yet. But you've given your report. They let you know that they are sending some knights and paladins over to check things out, figure out what exactly happened, but that you all are good for the evening and free to head home as you wish. And so now we can be in a locker room or where have you. Do you think this is where would you all want to have this conversation?
I'm fine with this.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Chloe pointedly looking out the window. Yeah? I don't really know. I've been having weird dreams lately. I don't really want to talk about it.
I don't want to be pushy about this, but it seemed kind of dangerous to us what happened, so we might need to talk about it.
I mean, I didn't mean to. I don't think I did.
I think that's more
It's
of a reason to talk about it.
I don't know, it's complicated. I didn't think it was real.
What?
Well, no, like obviously what just happened was real, but well, like why is this so hard? Uh no, not anything like that, really.
Let's if it's complicated, let's start at the beginning. When did the dream start?
Like the past couple of months.
Like when you got your powers? past couple of months?
A little bit after that. There's this voice, and it criticizes the way I do things.
Okay.
No.
How is it critical? Just like you don't clean your room enough, parent critical, or what?
Like, I don't have my powers figured out. Like, I'm misusing them.
How does it want you
And
to use
like not reaching my full potential.
Does it offer advice on how to do this better?
No. That's what, like, that's really frustrating, right? You'd think they do that. Yeah, all the time. Well, I thought that for a really long time, but I don't know, it kind of scares me that, like, using Kevin to beat a monster would be in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, that was an accident. I didn't want to do that. I didn't mean to. I just knew that it would work, and it kind of happened.
So what made you think of this voice in your dreams?
I heard it again during the fight.
All right.
Looks off into the middle distance.
You are not. Um, do you try and reach out at all to Oleander, or?
No, I don't think she does. I think she just listens.
Um, okay, so yeah, you're not hearing anything from Oleander. Um, LB, you may be muted, and I'm not sure if your captions are working.
Oh, and Twitch.
Yeah, stream isn't hearing you, though captions are working.
Check your mute button, see if it's flipped.
We can hear you in Zoom.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, you might need to you might need to reconnect your mic to the streaming software.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's default, so it was probably just
Yeah.
glitched.
So, like,
Sorry,
after an
guys.
update.
I was
After
doing
an
a really
update, sometimes
good.
you have to-
I was great. I was great
He was
that whole time.
I can attest to it.
Uh-huh. Thanks. This is high quality acting is what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I will go on record saying.
Yeah, but okay.
Thank goodness for captions.
Yeah, one of the reasons we use them. Because the number of times that one or more of us is accidentally muted is it's more than it should be.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Chloe looks into the middle distance and listens for a voice.
Yeah, so you're not hearing a voice.
Just an impending sense of doom.
No, that's just inside all of us.
Yeah, that's always there.
Let's see, I'm trying to think if this could be a roll.
Oh.
Maybe Or I'm trying to decide. I think this might be piercing the mask on yourself.
Oh,
Kind of.
dang. Yeah, okay.
Oh.
So that
I'd-
is a roll plus mundane, unless
All
you've
right.
got a playbook move.
I do not. I'm almost certain I have nothing of the sort.
Yep.
I am a powerhouse and nothing else. Don't ask me to do anything social.
I think you're quite
And also
sociable.
don't make me roll anything social.
Oh boy. Okay, so that is a miss. So you do get to mark potential.
Come here.
But yeah. You're not gonna get any additional insight into this. There's nothing is actively reaching out to you right now.
All right. She just looks into the middle distance for a bit, probably pauses for too long, and then just shakes her head.
Nothing?
No.
This has nothing to do with you, and other than it is irritating that this didn't happen while I was psychic.
Oh.
But
I feel you there. I feel you there.
Gee, you think? I mean, like, my powers have always had this side to them. I can absorb energy and stuff. It's just, I don't know, absorbing them from you guys, especially without asking first, that just seems weird.
I mean, it just felt really weird. Like, emotionally, situationally, physically, very weird.
Yeah, sorry about that. I won't let it happen again.
Oh, okay.
I like the sentiment, but it sounds like you didn't want it to happen before.
Yeah.
I guess it was an accident?
That doesn't sound like what you described, though. And that you had the idea and did it, but you don't like that you did it and didn't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I'm confused.
I am too.
Is this something we should talk to someone about? Like a super person, not like a therapist?
Yeah, like a psychic.
Oh, like a psychic.
They can get into your head. Figure out what's going on.
I don't know if I want anyone in my head.
I feel like it might be past.
I was gonna say there might already be someone in your head.
Roz will chime in as she's mostly been quiet and like looking out a window, but I mean, I could try casting some magic maybe and seeing if there's something going on. Let me pull up her sheet and see if she has something else to do here. Okay, no, but she is going to I guess roll +3, which she is not good at. Or checks with you of like, do you consent to her casting a spell on you to?
Hey, whoa! How much are you going to be able to see?
Oh, it's not. It. I mean, I guess it'll depend on how the spell works, like how successfully I'm able to cast it, and if you are absorbing energies subconsciously, then that might drain some of the magical energy and weaken the spell. We cannot do the spell if you would prefer.
There are things that I'd prefer to keep to myself. Can you change who gets to see it?
I mean, I can construct the spell differently depending on what we want it to do. I suppose what do we want it to do?
I don't know, just she's gonna look to Kevin.
I got 2 ideas. We can try and just get back to whatever the hell happened during the fight and try and analyze that more intensely. Or try and go into a dream and talk to this dream voice. Those are my 2 ideas. If it's magic. If it's psychics, we have a psychic do psychic things. But magic, different options, I feel like. If Roz can do it.
I may be able to do some kind of dream walking.
All right.
You sure?
Well, something's clearly wrong, and I don't want what happened today to happen again. So if dream walking is the way that we figure out what's going on, then maybe that's what we should do.
I had a third idea. It could just be a spell to see if there's another personality in you. Just a yes or no. Is there another personality?
That sounds really specific and also keeps my privacy intact.
Yeah.
All right.
See, this is why Kevin's the smart one.
It's true.
All right. I can certainly give that a shot. Okay. I think just try and relax, Chloe. I don't think this will sting.
I've never relaxed in my life.
It's true.
Okay. I'm going to roll to unleash Roz's powers. And we'll see how that do.
Got a lot of team in the pool, people.
All right, yeah. So team in the pool.
Assume there's a cool palindrome in some language here.
Yeah. I do not have Z's preparatory skills for palindromic spells. So she did get a 5, but if y'all spend, you currently have 10 in your team pool. And so as a reminder, the team pool is a mechanic where you can, if you can conceivably help out a teammate, you can spend 1 from the team pool to bump up a roll by a certain number, or by 1 unless you have one of the playbook moves that bumps it up more. So you all could get this up to a mixed success if you can come up with ways that your character could be assisting in this situation.
What if we just chant along with Roz?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just group spell. Let's hold hands around.
I never had nobody like you. It's a Turning Red reference, thank you.
Yeah. As
I told you, I'm on fire tonight,
Wings
guys.
turns red. Sure. Okay.
Which I can't listen to because I'm streaming. Damn it.
Yeah.
On the break.
Yep. Okay, so I have reduced the team pool by 2. It actually would have been at 11 because you get one at the start of a session, which I forgot to do. But okay, so that brings this up to a mixed success, which for Unleash Your Powers means, so you unleash your powers to overcome an obstacle, reshape your environment, or extend your senses. On a hit, you do it. On a 7 to 9, mark a condition, or the GM will tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary. I'm the one who rolled it, so it's really up to me, I suppose. But given that this is a bit of a weird situation, it is going to be more unstable. We'll say that like you two chanting does help, but you're not able to perfectly get the magic words that Roz is doing herself, so it's a little bit unstable in that regard. And so, Chloe, you feel just like tingles as like Roz's hands like reach out and like touch your temple. Um, and it feels for you like there is a spreading awareness. And now you get the sense that where previously, you weren't hearing a voice or anything, that there is something there, but it is asleep at the moment. Maybe not necessarily asleep, but it's essentially in a food coma.
Dormant. Hibernating.
Yeah. And so as you feel that, you see kind of Roz reacting to something similar to that, and she says, I feel an energy source, but I can't say if it's a full personality. It could just be how Chloe's power manifests. Sorry, I wish I could be more specific, but that's all I'm getting right now. But there's something that is not Chloe, but it's tied to her. And again, maybe that's just how her power manifests, or I forget, Chloe, do the others know at all that you, like, they know that you go to the hospitals enough, but do they know that there's like a chronic illness in it?
Subrina's the only one who knows about the illness specifically.
Okay. Gotcha. So Roz wouldn't have that context for this?
No. So it definitely is tied to my powers.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, certainly as it stands right now, yeah, we would have to, prepare another spell and do, something else to get more information, I guess. Sorry.
No, thanks for your input. I think it kind of helps clear some things up. She thinks for a second, and then she looks at Kevin and says, can I borrow your facilities?
Yeah, sure.
I think that there's some studies that I need to do.
Okay. Yeah, we want to just go to my house?
Science sleepover party?
Sounds good.
Science sleepover party, I guess.
I have no popcorn in this house. Damn it.
Oh, I'm sure Elena can get some popcorn for us.
That's
I don't usually call
Subrina.
it a sleepover. Usually that's just a basic all-nighter, but yeah, okay, I guess if it takes that, then that's what it takes.
Hey, you guys sleep too much on this planet anyways.
Do we?
Yeah. My planet goes around the sun, I think it's 8 times in one of your Earth days.
That seems like a lot.
Around its sun?
Mm-hmm.
So it's 8 years per day?
No. I mean, my sun
8 years.
Or my planet is tidal locked to the planet. So we don't really have like night, but we go around our sun 6 times in one Earth day. So yeah.
It's 8 your planet years if it goes around the sun, right? Because that's what a year is.
Yeah, a year is every time you go around the sun.
Oh, you're right. I have to look that up.
So is that like?
But we are tidal locked. We don't have nighttime.
In comparison, well, technically you would have night on the other side of the planet.
Yeah, you don't go over there.
Oh.
It's
Don't go
Okay.
to the bad part of town.
yeah.
Wow,
Also, it's
what a-
really cold.
What a metaphor for Chloe's mental state.
Also, you have to then be really close to your sun, probably.
Yeah.
I have a lot of questions about this.
Okay. Well,
Is it a strong magnetic field?
kind of.
How are solar winds not destroying your atmosphere?
We have a very intense atmosphere.
Okay.
Intense as in pressure?
Kinda, yeah. That's why my skin's so thick when I'm, me normally.
Are you like constantly lightheaded here?
Not anymore. I've been here for a long time.
Not anymore.
I'm used to it.
I've been here since I was 6. Well, 6. Well, it was weird. It's a weird to.
I mean, it's probably like how athletes go to higher elevations to train, and
Yeah.
eventually, like, you acclimate.
Oh my god, you're gonna be a superhero when you get home.
No, it's gonna be worse when I go back.
It's just gonna be crushed.
It's
like
the
a
opposite.
tin can.
But you'll have so much oxygen in your blood.
Exactly.
Oh my god. Well, yeah. I mean.
For a minute before it all gets squeezed out of her.
Like
Yep.
a sponge. Alright, let's all go to Kevin's. Let's go have
Let's
a science
go.
sleepover.
All right. Okay.
I should say. Hey, remember the Doom track?
Oh, I had
Yep.
it wrong.
Oh yeah.
I mark my Doom track every time I talk openly about
Oh,
it.
right.
Yep.
The orbit is 6 Earth days. It takes 6 Earth days for it to go around the sun.
Oh, that's still
A
very
lot. It's
fast.
very fast.
It's still quite fast.
Mhm.
Yeah, hold
Yep.
on.
A year
Oh.
per week.
Basically. Here,
I'll 65 divided by 6. So that's 60.8 your planet years compared to
Mhm.
ours
yeah.
for one of our years.
Yep.
So you are, hold on, how old are you in Earth years?
In Earth years,
Yeah.
17. Like I also I am a shapeshifter, so I've been on this planet.
10,336 years old.
Yeah, I've been on this planet for 11 Earth years. That's all I got.
Yep. All right. Unless there are more questions about Sabrina's homeworld.
There's a hydrogen-free atmosphere.
Okay. No hydrogen. Good to know. So yeah,
Sorry,
how are we,
yeah,
how,
I am
how are we
done.
doing a science sleepover on this?
Yeah, is Roz coming? Should we drop her off somewhere? What's
Um,
our...
She sleeps at my house normally.
Yeah, Roz.
Oh, okay.
Roz lives there.
Then we're going to Kevin's place.
Yeah. Yeah, I think as like the idea of like, oh, a sleepover, like she starts to perk up a little bit and is bouncing back and forth between like, oh, what movie are we gonna watch? Should we stop for some snacks on the way home? And also like, what experiments should we ask Elena to run? Whatchamacallit? But yeah, unless y'all have specific experiments and stuff that you would actually want to play out.
I got nothing.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, Chloe, you're the one who asked about using the facilities. Are there specific tests or something you would like to run?
She's specifically just gonna start like doing like basic bio tests on her own blood. And she's also going to take a sample from one of the vines that comes out of her body. Like she's gonna like extrude it, like snip off like a little tip of it and then like put it under a microscope, that kind of stuff.
Okay. Yeah. So
We've tried magic. Now for science.
yeah. Guess what I will say just at the basic level, because this wouldn't be too hard to figure out, is that uh your blood is fairly nominal. Nothing too out of the ordinary, except there's chlorophyll in it,
That
which
makes sense.
I don't think is normally in human blood in any
It's not.
amount. Um,
It would which would
Okay,
normally
poison ivy.
like if there was nothing else in her blood, then it would turn green. But since there's hemoglobin also, there is red and green, which are on opposite sides of the color spectrum. So if you mix them together, you would actually get a very alarming dark color.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that it's enough to quite get that, but like maybe a smidge darker than normal blood. Um, and then conversely, as you examine a sample from the vine, uh, there is, it's, largely a plant because it is, but some of the proteins and cell structures and such are more warrior baby girl LB. Nope.
No. Oh, God bless.
But the vines are some of these cellular structures are closer to a human's than a plant should be, and
Right.
there are traces of your blood throughout it.
Like if you would look at a plant under a microscope, you'd see like very tall, long cells that are like in like rigid, structured arrangements, whereas like more like tissue cells would be like round and kind of blobby.
Yeah, and so it is it's like, maybe one cell in 10,000 or something is essentially a human cell in the vine.
Mm-hmm.
Um, um, so yeah, certainly an anomaly. Um, I guess
All right.
armed with that, is there more specific analysis you would like to do, or
Shoot, I'm like we're making up the science at this point.
yeah.
Like, um, I think she's just gonna run the gamut of tests. And I think that secretly she's going to try and run tests that would be related to her illness
Okay.
and see how that compares in relation to her powers.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Um, yeah.
Because a thing that she's kind of kept to herself and not wanted to like I don't know, like I like either it's Oleander like hiding it from her or like just something that she doesn't necessarily want to think about. Um, since she got her powers, she hasn't felt as sick and she feels less sick the more that she feeds.
Yep. Um, yeah. But in terms of the illness, is it, because I guess we've never really talked about specifics of it, is there like a growth somewhere in her body, or how would you get samples
That's
from the illness?
that's kind of funny because like I always imagined it as like almost like a plant-like growth throughout her body, which is why it can't be removed or anything.
Mm-hmm. Okay, because it's like too closely entwined, or it's just too pervasive to fully remove.
Both. Both of
Okay.
those things.
Yep. Um. Yeah. So you managed to get a sample of that. I guess a question at this point is like, how much are the others interested in what Chloe is doing, or are like you all off in the next room over watching a movie while Chloe's in the lab, or is anyone, playing lab assistant or?
I think Kevin would be interested in helping with lab stuff to an extent.
Sabrina likes science.
Yeah. We're a science crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's a point where Sabrina just goes, so, okay, I don't really know a lot about, I mean, I know a lot about myself, but like, if I shapeshifted, so like when I shapeshift, my blood changes too, like all of it does. So, could I donate blood like forever?
What's your blood type?
Anything I want.
If while you shapeshift, a part of you were to get cut off, would it stay the shapeshifted part, or would it turn into you? Like normal you?
I don't know. That's never happened to me before.
I mean, okay, so like, have you ever had a haircut?
No, I don't need to cut my hair.
So
I could just make it shorter.
Well, here, hold on. Do you mind if we can test this right now?
Yeah, it's true. We just take some blood.
Well,
okay.
Hair, I feel like would be less invasive.
But what if you cut? Okay.
That's true. I mean, I guess any of it is just. Yeah, does this turn
weird.
into loose cells of you?
I don't know. Okay, let's just do it. Just a little bit.
Okay. Chloe's gonna get out some like medical shears and just like pull like just the tip of one lock of hair, and just go like snip, and collect it in a petri dish.
So I guess LB, question to you: do you want to make this decision, or are you leaving it to me?
I honestly don't know. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I think as Chloe, as you make the cut, like for humans, we get haircuts and it's just whatever, we feel a slight maybe tugging sensation or something. Sabrina, for you, a small part of you has been cut off and it hurts.
Ow!
And as
that hurt?
Yes.
That's weird. Yeah, that normally doesn't hurt.
And as you look in the petri dish, like it looks a little bit like hair, but it is slowly like devolving into just goop of some kind.
Can you put it back?
So, I don't know.
She's gonna hand the petri dish to you.
Ooh,
Can I reattach things?
Roll to unleash your powers.
Okay, good call, good call. Oh my god, weird science, huh?
The chaos gremlin in me wants you to just like slurp.
Oh, it's a 6.
So you can take the miss and mark potential, or y'all can
Help
turn
her.
this into a mixed success
She's
and see what that
panicking a little bit.
I can help you. Vines.
Just gonna see if maybe Elena would know like a solution we could add to make it easier or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what? Actually, we could probably do tests on this and see what part of her body this actually is.
What?
And then
Are we
once
trying
we
to
know
reattach it? Are we?
Well, if we know if it's blood,
Sacrificing
we
a
can
s-
just put it back in her, right?
No, it's goop. It's goop.
Are you made of? Is she made of goop?
Oh.
Look, okay,
That-
so my natural state has no hair. So, like, I don't know, maybe it would be like part of my skin?
Oh my gosh. Wait,
Wait.
hold on. No, turn back to
Yeah,
normal.
yeah. Tell me.
body.
Okay, just tell me if you see anything. Remember, I can't talk when I'm in this state. I can't, like, speak like a human, okay? Ready?
Right, okay, yeah.
Okay. Roz, have you seen this before?
I think she
so.
has.
Oh, okay.
There was a
I was
point where
very
you were,
liberal
like-
with it recently.
You were super
Yeah.
depressed for
Mhm.
a while and just like alien everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. Subrina shifts back into her natural state. A 5 foot tall, four-legged, two-armed, ape centaur looking thing with really hard skin, eyes sort of on the side, no mouth.
Yeah,
It's just
hammerhead.
straight to hair. Yeah, it's just straight down. And you see her like bend over a little bit and like kind of show you. Like looks at her own hands, looks at her other hands.
Yeah, I mean, so it is vaguely like where your hair and head would be.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not it's maybe a couple centimeters across,
Yeah.
like
Just-
a small open wound that's
Yeah.
not like profusely bleeding or anything, but it is a clearly damaged section.
Rub the goop on it.
I don't
Is
know,
that
did she
someone
have
helping
healing-
me?
I like asking genuinely out of character because it's been a while. Does she have like healing powers or anything?
No, I'm
I don't
pretty
think
tough
that
though.
would work.
No. Sabrina like shifts back and it's fine. It's just a scratch. It's okay. I'm okay. See? I'm okay.
So
You
as
answered a
you,
lot of questions.
as you
I
move
mean,
around and
this
like
isn't-
the part where the hair got cut like kind of touches other things, you do wince a little bit, and so like that
Oh.
is clearly
Well,
gonna
let's
be
not
sensitive.
do that again. That wasn't fun.
No, it's
Man.
important. That's important information to know. Here, hold on. I think that we've got some generic antiseptic goo around here somewhere.
It's gonna hurt more. She like goes.
Yeah, but you don't want
Here.
it to get infected.
Wait.
Good.
Do you guys not have nerve endings in your hair then?
No,
No.
it's dead cells.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fucking Chloe just like pulls her own hair out and like snips like a prodigious amount.
Whoa. Okay. Cool.
Like,
Weird.
blows it away.
Cool.
Yeah, our nails don't do that either. Like we can clip our nails.
Really? You can't like feel with your nails?
I mean, kind of, but not really.
They are touching skin, so you feel pressure through them, but there's no nerves in the
Ah.
nails. No.
Yeah. They're there to
Weird.
protect your fingers.
From what?
Right? Well, like your hands are like the way that you interact with the world. So you need and your fingertips are some of the most sensitive parts of your body. So you need something there to protect them. And they're also nice for like opening packages and things.
They're also potentially an evolutionary holdover because everything
Has claws.
fucking claws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That used to be
Sabrina
a
makes
weapon, I
claws
guess.
on her hands. Yeah.
Ah!
Ah.
Yeah, like that.
Oh, sorry. Well, this has been fun.
hmm
You ever
So
try
what it-
shape-shifting a mouth when you're in your alien form?
I'd have to do like a whole throat system.
Lungs,
No, yeah,
all
that does
the...
sound complicated.
Yeah. I mean, I have lungs. They're just not like your lungs.
Mhm. Okay. Anyways, I think we're getting sidetracked here. Is there any other experiments we can do on Chloe to figure out
Well,
what's going on?
So where that whole tangent started from was in me asking like who was there, and so like, Chloe, how much are you trying to hide, like as you are trying to take samples from your illness, and like are you explaining what you're doing as you
No.
do that?
She doesn't explain a thing.
So if that's what's going on, I think we're all doing our own ideas of experiments then.
Yeah, I feel
And
like
just
somebody
trying to see-
I feel like specific well, gosh, both of you have like some sciencey know-how. Like I feel like there has to be some sort of like pierce the mask roll to see like if you recognize what exactly she's doing.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
I know what you're doing.
Yeah, so I
Right?
guess it would be a question of like, if Chloe are going to, say Kevin for like help uh, with the analyzing the new tissue sample. Like, do you say anything to him about like why this might be different than the sample tests that you just did, or?
Well, I think that the most useful bit of information would be getting like a CAT scan, and I don't know if he would have anything like that.
I feel like not at the moment, but if you tell Elena that you need a CAT scan, she tells you like, give her a day or two to assemble one.
All right. Yeah, I think that she like is considering some like chemical tests that she's done on like some plant samples from her body, and then she asks Elena for a CAT scan.
So, yeah, I think I'm working with, because my idea was to try and figure out how, like, where energy goes when she absorbs it and stuff like that. Like, is there any kind of energy spike when plants are being produced? Stuff like that. So some kind of CAT scan that could like, or some kind of, put her in a tube, do some scans. Let's see if we
absorb
can get like a
some
spectrum
energy
analysis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get a sci-fi CAT scan machine.
Yeah.
I mean, and we're significantly in the future, so like we could probably invent our own scanning machine.
Yeah, and I mean, one of you has a move to create technology.
What's the oh dang. What's the like the Star Trek
friend.
like remote control that you point at somebody and say, "You have cancer"?
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know enough about Star Trek.
the
yeah, I do.
Yeah, the beep 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 beep.
It's like,
I have
it's like tricorder and like med something like combined, but I don't think it's a med quarter.
It's just the corner of the med
tool.
bay.
Yeah.
I can.
Maybe it's just a medical tricorder. I think it's just a medical tricorder.
It's a bioscan.
I do have alien tech. I could try. I certainly can.
Oh yeah, my medical tricorder as well. There's a number of them.
Yeah, and so I'm also thinking, because like I know this isn't really part of the legacy playbook, but I am reminded that Chloe, you do have your Haven, or what's it called in the Dooms playbook?
It's a Haven. Yeah.
I think I can take Haven with an upgrade, or I can take Sanctuary with an upgrade. Yeah, which is I think what it is.
Her Haven is the greenhouse at the school.
Yeah,
and so far we've been using that to like make useful plant tools.
Yeah, and so I do very much like this idea of Elena could conceivably fabricate technology for you, but I think we're gonna have to do something to make it happen. It's not just gonna happen for free.
Not just be available. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Do we need to go on a quest for some fiber crystals?
Maybe.
My expectation on Elena has always been that like her full functionality is locked to me, because whatever she's doing is a part of what my dad's plan was.
Mm-hmm.
So there could just be like, she could be like, I could do that. I am not allowed to though.
Yeah. I think that's what happens to start here.
Okay. So we get a "I can't let you do that, Kevin" from Elena. And then we go like, "Ah, shucks," kick some dirt, and then turn over to Subrina and say, "Hey, can't you make alien technology?"
Sabrina's sitting in the chair on the other side, and she's just trying to spin as fast as possible, and she's like, "What? What am I doing?"
Can't you make like sci-fi tools and stuff?
Yeah. What are we doing? What do we make? What do you need?
Well, here, like Chloe's gonna like pull like a medical textbook off of a shelf and flip through it until she like finds a CAT scanner that explains like what it does and stuff, and she just like shows it to Subrina.
Oh!
And there's like a diagram that's like pointing out like all of the different things that it does.
Yeah, I think so.
I need to take a picture of my insides.
I could try. Let me give me a minute and I'll see what I can do.
Sure, just a minute. That's all it takes. Why do we like do any of this again? She like points around the lab.
We're trying to figure out what the hell's going on with you.
And
Well, no, I mean like if Sabrina could just make a CAT scanner in a minute.
because sometimes her stuff goes wrong,
Mhm.
it goes haywire.
That's fair.
All right. I'm going to roll plus freak.
Yeah, I
Figure
will
out
say
my-
that Elena is able to provide just like a hunk of like metal and parts,
Uh-huh.
almost like 3D printing, but isn't able to like
Yeah.
make it something inherently useful, but like
Yeah,
gives
yeah.
you a block of
The raw
marble for you
materials.
to chisel from.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. I'm going to do it. Let's go. Holy
Oh,
mother of
All right.
God. That's a
The
12.
first success of the evening.
Huzzah!
Okay, so remind me what happens on a 10 plus for that move.
On a 10 plus, that is, at a hit, you create the device that can do something impossible once, and this is scrolled down too much. My wheel is too powerful, and then it fizzle. Roll a 10, choose 1. It works exceptionally well. You get an additional use out of it. Yeah, so I can
Ooh.
use it more than once. Twice, in fact.
Thought it was an option there, but maybe I'm misremembering.
There might have been more, but that's all that I think.
Oh, okay. So the two options on 10 plus are it works exceptionally well, or you get an additional use out of it.
Got it.
oh, I think
Oh, okay. There is a dash. There are two options on top of each other. I got it.
Yep.
I'm gonna say it works exceptionally well because Subrina, like, she gets like halfway through building this thing and then she just goes, do we have any ice cream here?
Is the
Yeah.
ice cream for you or for the machine?
The machine doesn't need any cold components.
Right. Kevin, you got any ice
Uh,
cream?
I will go get some ice cream.
And by the time Kevin gets back,
Actually, I say we have ice cream. We very well may not, as I haven't eaten until very recently. I will go get ice
Roz needs food.
that's
Yeah.
true. Wait a second, I haven't had food.
Wait a second.
Yeah. We'll say there's some ice cream. It's limited in flavor to it's something that Roz has to import from Spain.
Mm-hmm.
And so she is hesitant to part
Aw.
with it, but
I'll run
agrees.
out and at super speed get some ice cream from somewhere.
Yay!
Sure, and that will give Sabrina plenty of time to complete the
Mhm.
device. Though, is there any girl talk that happens while Kevin is gone?
I know I said that like nails are nice for like getting things open and stuff, but that's never worked for me. My nails are too soft. They just break.
I heard males. And so like you were talking about like getting guys to open
Yeah,
jars.
dude, dudes suck. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also, the whole sentence still works. Her males are too soft to open things for her.
They just break.
Yeah.
Bunch of soy boys.
I've never tried to because it feels weird, like putting my nails into things, because I can feel with my nails apparently.
That sounds really weird.
I thought it was natural
I mean,
for
like
humans.
bad stuff happens to nails sometimes. That sounds like it would really hurt.
Yeah, mine don't really break like that though. It's just as tough as the rest of me.
Yeah. There's a lot of soft parts on a human body.
I know. Anyways, so Now that Kevin's hot, is he on the list?
What list?
Remember the bet that we have?
Well, yeah, but the bet didn't include a list.
Oh, you don't have a list? Chloe.
I don't know if I'm gonna die anymore.
That's very positive thinking. Is there a reason that you believe that?
Well, depending on what we get back from the scan, I've got kind of a theory.
That's awesome. I mean, like, I don't, you know me, blind optimism. So I didn't want to do that, but I'm really excited that you believe that.
Like I said, I don't know. I'm not sure.
But you
And
have an idea.
I have a theory. It doesn't mean anything until we know for sure.
Okay.
Don't get your hopes up.
No, wouldn't. Never in my life have I gotten hopes up. Look, if I'm gonna stick around here, I really want you to be there, so.
That's really sweet.
Yeah. Well, I'm like candy in that regard. I really want that ice cream.
Alright, I will be back with ice cream now.
Ta-da!
So
Speak of the devil, he shall
I don't
appear.
know what are the good ice creams, so I got some ones that are regionally liked that I've heard of from some places. Sorry I was gone so long.
You were
Yes.
gone for like 5 minutes.
Oh. Well, I got some, and I'm like, I got some
You live on, like-
Bluebell, and I got
You live in like the suburbs. I think the nearest grocery store is like 20 minutes away. Like, how'd you get there so
Mhm.
fast?
I went out of state for some of these, but it's fine. It's
Wow!
That is exactly what teenagers with super speed would use their
Right?
powers for.
It's so true.
Okay, yes, I will take, and she, like, looks over that and, like, takes 3 of them. And then, all you have to do is lay down in that thing. Nobody else should be in the room. And, well, I mean, I can be in the room, but nobody else, and, like, and I'll press a button, and then we can go.
What happens if someone else is in the room?
Well, it's an x-ray machine. That's not good for the human physiology, right?
I literally make X-rays out of my body. I think I'll be
That's true.
alright.
That's true. So really, you're the only one in danger here, Chloe.
Great.
Oh yeah. You know what? While this is going on, I'm gonna X-ray and see if I see anything with my super senses.
You are an extra. Why did I make this? See, sometimes Kevin's just really dumb, and I love him for that.
He's still
I'm
figuring
like,
out his
yeah,
new powers.
There she
Like,
turns and
cat
looks at
and
Kevin, and his
MRI
eyes are
stuff.
wide open.
Is different than X-rays.
Yes,
In real
yes.
life.
Yes. You've never, like, used this for notorious things, right?
Like, what do you mean?
Like looking at boobies?
Oh no. I mean, the internet's real, so
That's
I
true.
mean, that's not really how X-rays work.
No? That's how
Am
they
I
work
wrong?
on the TV.
that's not how X-rays work. You're right.
I mean, I don't know, Kevin. Do you have weird seeing through clothes powers?
I do have weird seeing through stuff powers, but as I said, the internet is real, and I have no need to do this. There's
Well,
effectively no reason to be a weird perv unless you just really want to now.
I gotta be honest with you, Kevin. If it was literally anybody else, I'd be suspicious.
But since it's
But-
Kevin,
Since it's Kevin, yeah, no, I buy it totally.
yeah. Anyways, here's my CAT scan machine.
It's just like a cat face on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Cat
okay.
face goes over her and like opens his mouth as meow.
Okay.
Sabrina did not understand what a CAT scan was.
It's got big ears on it. That literally, I've been through a CAT scan before one time, and they had on the thing, you're supposed to hold your breath when you go through it, and it had a really cute anime style figure on it, and it just went
Oh,
like
no.
it was just showing you how it was so funny.
That's
just so cute.
adorable.
It was very cute.
Well, like a CAT scan can be like a claustrophobic kind of scary experience. So like, I imagine that they would do a lot of things to try and don't worry, look at the cute kitty.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
All right. Chloe's gonna lay into this coffin-like cat machine.
All right. So you get into the machine. What are the tests that we are actually looking for? Because your machine works exceptionally well, but you know that it's probably not going to be the most durable of machines.
Well, I'm gonna say that she hasn't gotten a scan since before her powers activated. So like here's what's going on in my head. Like that sort of like plant-like growth that was in her body before has now evolved and turned into those vines that she shoots out of her hands. And so it's grown and gotten bigger, but also more clearly plant-like.
Yep. Also,
but the suspicion that she has is wait a second, maybe these vines that I'm shooting out of my arms were that growth that doctors told me was terminal before.
So I guess because there had been the suggestion that Chloe uses her powers while she's in the machine, is that the plan here?
I think
see that, or
have some electricity or something. You can grow some vines to it and try and absorb the electricity, and then we can see what's going on while you grow vines and where the electricity goes.
All right. I would say that Chloe specifically would be satisfied with just the scan. But if somebody else suggests that, then she will definitely go for it.
Yeah. Also, I gotta say, because again, this is a new development since we last played. If any of you have been playing or watching The Last of Us, and how, that's mushrooms growing inside people. Chloe is plants inside people. Anyway.
Oh, I hadn't even considered cordyceps. Scary.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about, can Chloe manipulate fungus?
We have not.
Anyway, that's a discussion for another time.
Yeah,
fungus is closer to animals than it is plants.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know it's not a plant in its purest sense, but I don't know.
There's so many good Tumblr shit posts about mushrooms. I mean, that's where the "you cannot kill me in any way that matters" comes from, is talking about mushrooms.
Tell me the name of God.
What we really need to help you out is Cormac from the other game. He could help you out, Chloe.
How do you mean?
His power was biokinesis. He just controls life.
Oh God, that would be horrific. Knowing his personality, trying to convince him to do anything helpful sounds like a nightmare.
Whether or not you like the end result, you get what you asked for.
Oh, please, God, no.
All right, so we're doing these scans. Subrina, since you are the one running it, and you are aware of Chloe's illness and how there is, previously this kind of plant-like growth, and maybe Chloe is once upon a time shown you some of the scan pictures or something, and it's kind of small tendrils kind of tracing out the nervous system. As you run the scan this time, and especially as Chloe focuses on absorbing the energy, the growth has certainly grown. Chloe is not all plants by any means, but whereas before it had been just kind of around the nerves, now there's clearly plant growth into just about everything, like wrapping around organs, weaving into and out of bones. But you also can tell with your scan that, like, the nerves aren't screaming in pain or anything. And, Chloe seems to be doing just fine. And so it seems like there is some kind of symbiosis happening here. And as like she absorbs the energy, you do see that, like, the plants, as they are coming out of her, go back into her body, and you see that, like, those plants are like, pulsing or something. They are reacting to the energy. They're not like explosively growing at the moment, but they do certainly seem to be reacting, and it does seem like the energy is going externally to internally in Chloe.
Okay. Well, there's not. So they're not like everywhere on you. It seems to be working together with your body in like a really good way, though.
Chloe's gonna get up and go look at the scans herself.
See how they're kind of like, when you did the thing, it like goes back into your body. It's like helping you.
Yeah, that sounds about right. She's gonna open up her laptop and, like, tippity tappity. She's gonna like access some files, like old medical files that she's just had on hand. Because it has been a pet project of hers to research her own disease.
Mm-hmm.
And she's gonna open up like some, like, her most recent scan, and she's like got the two like side by side. She's just sort of like looking at them, and like you see her like open it up in like an editing program, and she's like making comparisons to like here's where a vine is, and like this is like clearly like the same line on the old scan, and she is just sort of like scratching her chin and muttering to herself.
So, are you trying to maintain any sort of privacy, or are Kevin and Roz about to learn about, this growth and such?
She's got like the screens like back to Kevin, and if he comes over, then she taps out quickly.
Kevin! Did you know that my planet has 60% of starlight than yours? So it's like super bright here for me?
That's really cool. I'm going to go ahead and look at Chloe and X-ray Chloe myself. They're being real sus.
Ooh, I'm trying to think if there are some roles that could happen here.
Maybe an assess the situation is the only thing I can think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think an assess the situation, or
maybe unleash powers.
Well, I mean, pierce the mask is literally see the person beneath. But I do think it
my
would
bones.
I do think it would be more assess the situation here.
Okay.
So that is roll plus superior. Okay. So with a mixed success, you can ask one question. The standard questions are: what here can I use to blank? What here is the biggest threat? What here is in the greatest danger? Who here is most vulnerable to me? How could we best end this quickly? And you can ask one of those, or if there's something that you think would be more in line with what you want to get, but
more applicable.
Yeah, but if it's not on the list, I may be less direct in the information I give you.
I think, like in the vein of this, I kind of want to be of a, like, how much, as I'm seeing what's going on, how much danger is Chloe in? As I see, like, vines wrapped around organs. and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I guess the other one is while I'm observing it with this like super senses, do I see any evidence of like further growth after the electricity was absorbed? Like, am I seeing more vines growing or anything?
I mean,
Or can that be my question? I guess. Do I observe that?
yeah. No, there's no obvious growth that is happening. Um, so you do this X-ray scan. I'm trying to think if like Chloe feels a tingle, or I mean, unless you are very distracted by observing your results, or
I'm just seeing the light that's. You know what? If I'm going really detailed, my eyes might just glow because I'm giving off like lots of different light to do like a full spectrum because it's not just X-rays.
Yeah. So, Chloe, as you are reviewing the scan results with Sabrina, or I guess, well, no, because if you'd gone around behind her, she would have tabbed out of the results. So I guess I'm trying to figure out where you all are in the room, and does Chloe see your eyes glowing at her?
I'm standing across from her. I have clear line of sight. She's looking at this now, and they're not going to be like glowing bright. They're going to be like a dim, because normally I would just use the existing light that's in the room to like just and then focus my senses on that since I just see all light. But I'm like, no, I needed more detailed, so I'm just releasing a little bit of light.
Okay.
Chloe just looks up at him and says, "See anything?"
Yeah. So
Care to share with anybody?
I imagine it's what the scan saw.
What Chloe was trying to hide was her old scan from before her powers came. So if you're looking at her body, you're not going to see what she was trying to hide.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that, but I don't think I saw the scans before. I'm kind of over there, and you guys are being sus, so I'm just like, all right,
Yeah.
doing this myself.
She'll like close her old scan and like turn the computer around.
Yeah.
Actually, this is probably a good variable. Me just sitting around versus me sitting inside a cat scanner is probably going to look different.
If I'm looking at the two, do they look different? Or does it look different than what I remember saying? I guess I could still be looking.
Yeah, so if you are looking at the current scan results, because my understanding is, Chloe has now hidden the old scans and does not want that to be seen. But the scan that y'all just did, you're fine with them seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No, Kevin, it is essentially the same. Obviously the positioning is different. Maybe, some things are slightly more visible from different angles than what the scan was doing. But it, in the 2 minutes between the scan and your visual scan, there's no difference.
I'll relate. Yeah, effectively no change.
Yeah.
All right. But are the results comparable?
Yeah, I mean, it looks the same as the CAT scan.
Well, great. If we're out in the field and something weird happens, then you can have a look there.
What? I think we'll need
turn
to
the computer
track
back around
it.
and then open her old scan again and then continue to draw those lines.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe can't read minds anymore. So since we're doing a slumber party tonight, I can stay up and maybe watch Chloe not watch you while you sleep, but like participate in the area where you are when you're sleeping, and I can like watch a movie but keep an eye on you and make sure that you're not like having any distress if you have any dreams or something, and I can wake you up, or I could, we'll see. That, yep.
I guess.
If you're up for it, we could do the dream walk idea if Roz is up for it.
Magic. I keep forgetting
Yeah, I
about
could
magic.
give it a shot.
Yeah, I mean, I was up for doing that either way.
Okay. Well, looking at the time, it's probably, 9-10 p.m. I mean, do we want to relax for a bit and watch a movie, or should we do the spell now and get ready for bed?
I mean, I just bought a bunch of ice cream. I would like to eat some of it.
Yeah. Okay, let's do a movie.
Yeah.
I will think about the spell. This gives me more time to prepare, and then after the movie, and we're going to bed. Then we can do the dream walking spell.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Now, who's ready for Sharknado 72?
I mean, Sharknado 72 is good. Sharknado 71 was better, but it's okay.
Yes, but Sharknado 71 is not for free right now. We would have to rent it, and I lost my job for your consideration because I stopped doing it.
Looks at Kevin, looks
How
at the
much?
house.
Does a movie rental cost?
I mean, it's
Like $30 bucks?
$5.99 or something. Yeah.
How much is one banana, Michael?
Yeah. But I think that's probably a good time to take a break as y'all decide what movie to watch and such. So we are gonna take a 5 to 10 minute break as we refresh ourselves, refill water, grab a snack, take your meds, all that good stuff. Don't go no place, and we'll be back real soon. Hello, Internet. We're back with a longer break than we said because it's a Tuesday.
We're talking about the boys.
Yeah, and lots of comic book stuff, as you do. But we are back and ready to go, and we're ready to go to sleep. Because we are at a sleepover, and the group had decided that they were going to follow up with their plan to have Roz cast sort of a dream walking spell to allow everyone into Chloe's dreamscape. So we are going to pick up there. Let's see. So you all watched Sharknado. You ended up just watching 71 and 72. And so it's a bit later than you intended. It's now, probably 1 a.m. or something, but it's a weekend. Who cares? You're teenagers. You have infinite energy, or you have no energy at all.
We're invincible.
Yeah. So
we hit squirrely o'clock.
Yeah. But as you all finally prepare to go to sleep, you're, we'll say you're in the living room, and as Kevin was helping get, sleeping bags or blankets and pillows and such, Roz was setting up a spell circle in the living room, and has rolled the rug to the side and has drawn it out so that Chloe will be in the middle, and then the other three of you will be at basically a triangle around the circle. And it's very fancy, lots of runes, lots of lines and such. And
before we get to this scene just yet, during the movie, Chloe would have leaned over to Subrina and asked her to make sure that nobody found out that she was sick.
Yeah, of course. But
would have
like,
definitely heard that. I'm super
Like,
here.
but like okay, so like she'll say it in
Let text it.
Yeah, okay, like texting makes more sense.
Yeah.
She could have whispered it in a like a roundabout way, like, hey, can you make sure that nobody finds anything I wouldn't want them to know?
There's a panicked look on her face, like, what is it? What is it? Oh. Yes? You mean more than they already know?
Yeah.
Roger. Shifty eyes.
Shifty eyes. Now you have a job.
God
Alright.
damn.
Jump back into ritual description.
Yeah, and so if you had like a bird's eye view above it, and you can kind of see it anyway, but all the runes and such is like a mirror image of itself. So you got the palindromes there as well. And she's like, okay, I tried to make sure we all had enough room to actually sleep and be comfortable, but just Chloe, you'll be in the middle, in the focus, and the rest of us, just try not to roll over too much in your sleep, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm not doing magic to make us all fall asleep, because if that goes wrong, that would be very bad. So just fall asleep naturally, and once we're all unconscious, it should link our consciousnesses together.
That sounds really hard to do.
Okay. I'm gonna try to do that.
Alright.
I micro sleep. I don't need to sleep like you guys do.
Well then I guess the spell will trigger off of you then.
Cool.
Like the spell will try and help us stay asleep, but it's not gonna keep us asleep.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. Well, good night, I guess. And like lights off. Everyone starts trying to get to sleep, or do you keep chatting as teenagers do?
being assholes about it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's probably like an hour of like someone chiming in every now and then.
No, there's the first thing that is said as soon as the lights go out is you guys hear like a shuffling, and Subrina like goes over to Kevin and just goes, "Hey Kevin."
Yeah.
Do you have a list of people you want to kiss?
No. Why would I have that?
What?
Do you have a list of people you want to
Of
kiss?
course I have a list of people I want to kiss. That's what normal teenagers do.
Is it?
Yeah.
How many people do you know that have a list of people that they want to kiss?
At least 5. We've compared notes and I've added people to my list from their lists.
Okay. Sorry, again, new to me. I'll have to catch up on this.
Okay. Well,
So
you should get on that, because you need, I mean, like, you don't have to if you don't want to, but, like, you can. So, like, it's a thing to think about. Kissing is fun.
You say so.
You could always try it and see if you like it.
That's true. I had thought about that. I just haven't, I guess, made a list. I haven't done the paperwork necessary for this.
But wait, you can hear the bag scooch closer. Do you know who you want to kiss?
We can talk about that some other time. That's
Are
not.
they in the room?
Again, these are things that are best left to different times.
She starts scooting away.
Guys, it's really hard to sleep when you keep on whispering like that.
Sorry.
All right. Oh, hey, and then I'm gonna do light gonna make my eyes light up and do shadow puppets on the ceiling.
That's so cool! You have hands, you can do that now!
Yeah, and my eyes glow.
Oh yeah, that too! I can always do that, so that's not...
When did you learn to do shadow puppets?
Me?
Yeah.
As like a kid.
Is that something that kids normally learn?
Shadow pup? Like, I'm just doing like dogs and stuff. Like, nothing crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Kevin, if you blink your eyes, you can make it like a rave, and like her eyes start to glow green, like she does when she's Corvid, and she like blinks them, and then she starts going. And that's
All right.
Just do that
Chloe
too.
gets out her phone and starts scrolling, realizing that she's gonna have to wait this out.
I think after a bit of that, Roz is like, "Oh my god, you guys, the spell has been going to last forever."
Sorry.
Although that does
Sorry?
give me an idea, and then if I could blink fast enough, it could maybe do like a bright enough light, and it could be like a weaponized flashlight thing. Have you seen those?
That's what I do. Don't take my
Like
thing,
like
Kevin.
what like makes people sick, you know, because I'm strobing the lights too fast.
Oh, yeah, you'd have to like figure out frequency, but we'll talk about it later. We should go to bed.
All right, some team up moves. All right, sleeping.
All right, so eventually you all find yourselves asleep. And you find yourselves transported to a void. I think previously when Chloe had been in and met Oleander, that it was a void, and that Chloe, at the time, you were in your Hemlock persona, I believe, because Oleander had appeared as an entirely plant version of you.
That sounds about right.
Yep. This time it's a bit different. It is still mostly a void, but you find yourselves all lying down in, the same relative positions, but on a pool of grass. And for, at least for the moment, you all are in your civilian forms. Rod starts with
Human
saying,
forms?
yeah, so like your main, the form you spend the most time in around them.
Fair.
Yep. And Roz will be like, okay, so I think we're all in a dream. And you see her concentrating for a bit, and then she like poofs into her fragment outfit. Okay.
Oh.
And then thinks again, back to Roz. Okay, so dream world, dream logic. We should be able to make most things happen if we want. Though it might stress the spell too much if we, mess with reality too much. But it should be fine.
I was about to make a unicorn. I'm glad you said something about it first.
Oh, but a unicorn would be really cool. And you see her thinking, and then like a unicorn like walks out of the darkness and like at the edge of the pool of the grass, leans down, grazes a bit, looks up at all of you, says, "Sup," and then wanders back out of the light.
Oh my gosh. That's the exact same voice my dad used to give the unicorn in the children's books.
Oh, okay. Because yeah, I didn't give it the voice, so that's good to know that it's pulling from your subconscious.
Weird.
All right, so what should we do then?
I mean, I guess you should try and use your powers. And hopefully that will bring whatever is about your powers to life. I don't know. I'm making this up as I go. I'm honestly a little surprised that we all made it into the dreamscape.
All right. Well, it's not too big a stretch of the imagination. She's gonna try and turn into Hemlock.
Yep. And as you do, the rest of you see that like the grass that Chloe is standing on like swirls around her a little bit, and like some of it seems like go up into her shape as like others, like the plants, just come out of Chloe as they do when she transforms into Hemlock. And as she does, you also notice that, like the pool of grass that you're in expands a bit. And as it does, you see that at one end, kind of where the unicorn wandered off to, you see like the tips of the roots of a trunk, or roots of a tree rather.
It seems a little different.
Go to the tree. I guess I'll go to the tree then.
Excuse me. Yeah. So as you approach the tree, Kevin, as you go over, you get near the edge of the pool of grass, and it's just you can't see out past the darkness. But as all of you wander over, and specifically as Hemlock approaches, the pool kind of follows her, and like the parts where you were lingers behind a bit, but you do see that like that grass starts withering a bit. But like as she walks forward, like new grass springs up, and as she approaches the tree, like more of it comes into view, to the point where it becomes like a big, it's not as big as a sequoia, but it's a pretty big tree, like certainly bigger than you would see in most forests.
I guess the dream is centered on me.
Makes sense. How do we make this other thing
Light?
happen?
Oh,
I mean-
the other creature? The thing? Hello? Is there anybody else here?
As you call out, the tree kind of shakes like there's a wind going through.
Hi. I'm
Sorry.
Subrina.
There's just more rustling of the branches and the leaves.
Chloe, try talking to it.
Hey. It's me. I'm here. Are you there?
There seems to be a shifting of the tree, and as you say that and finish speaking, the trunk starts warping, and coming out of the wood is suddenly a face, and then as it continues to emerge, it's a humanoid body, and it continues to take shape and refine details until eventually, stepping out of the tree, you see Hemlock made of plants. But Chloe, what you notice is that this time the figure is not a perfect match to you. It is bigger.
Hmm.
Not even like Lady Dimitrescu bigger,
Oh
but
no.
it is. I mean, how tall is Chloe?
God, like a good 5'4", maybe. Like
Yeah.
modest teenage size.
And so this is maybe now, 5'8", and in every other proportion equally as big. And the figure kind of looks at you, and then looks at the rest of you before refocusing on Chloe. That was enjoyable this evening.
Chloe's gonna like look at her friends.
What was enjoyable this evening?
I fed very well tonight.
Yuck. What's your name?
Looks to Chloe. Are you not going to introduce me to your friends?
She like searches for the name, and I feel like in the dream she can just reach it. Oleander.
Yes, and as you say that, like the tree starts to grow oleander plants like around the roots. I don't even know what they look like. Let me.
Coriander?
No, that's a different game.
Hello! I've taken control of this teenage girl.
I did not
Give me
prepare for this
Australian
crossover
Cory.
event.
Give me Australian Cory or nothing.
Hello.
But,
I'm here for some reason.
Just pass.
so, for those who are not familiar with the oleander plant, its scientific name is nerium, and it's got kind of long, slender oval leaves and pink flowers coming out of it.
Yeah.
And so these kind of start sprouting from the base of the tree and around where oleander stands. Yes, I am Oleander, and I am, well, the reason for you. Well, more or less.
What does that mean?
Well, without me, Chloe would not be who she is.
I don't understand. Are you my powers?
I am that and more.
I mean, we're all friends here, right? Why are you being real cryptic?
Maybe he doesn't like really know.
You see Oleander kind of thinks for a bit. I am still parsing human comprehension.
I'm not human.
No, you are not.
Are you trying to hurt our friend?
You see that Oleander takes a moment to consider that. Any harm that befalls Chloe also befalls me.
Are you aware that you hurt us earlier?
You do not look hurt to me.
Well, you did hurt us earlier. How do you feel about that?
I feel full.
Right. Where did you come from?
Yeah, that.
Again, kind of looks at Chloe, and as Oleander looks at Chloe, you all feel, or well, Chloe, you don't. This doesn't happen to Chloe, but Sabrina, Kevin, and even Roz, you feel like the grass around your feet is like moving a bit. Like it's not like trying to wrap up around you and entwine you or anything, but it is like clearly moving in ways that grass should not be moving on its own. And then after a bit of that, Oleander again looks at Chloe and says, "The one that isn't human knows a bit. The others do not."
Oh.
So that is you. You've been here like my entire life.
Yes, that is why I said I am the reason for you.
Okay, but you
Dude.
have been hurting Chloe then. A lot.
Oleander looks surprised for a moment, but then again thinks a bit. You see the tree kind of again flutters in the wind. I had not yet awakened then. Would you blame a child for the stress it causes its mother in the womb?
Uh-huh. So you're kind of like a cancer? Or a... Like... what are your intentions with my friend?
To grow.
Ooh, that's super, like, because I just used the word cancer. Yeah, are you gonna let Chloe grow too?
Of course.
What if
So
she
this-
doesn't want you?
Go ahead.
Rather than respond to that directly, Oleander looks to Chloe and says, "Do you not want me to grow with you?"
I don't know.
Is Chloe going to be alive when you're done growing?
Who can say what the final stage of growth will be?
I feel like maybe you could, and you're not.
You gift me with far more intentionality.
Did you exist before Chloe?
As a seed,
I don't know, like consciousness. You didn't choose Chloe and do this yourself.
no, it is a quirk of her biology. What I can say is that without me, that same quirk would have ended Chloe's life long before she would have made it this far.
Okay. So you're a seed that's been growing inside of Chloe since she was born. And
Not since she was born. Since she was small.
Okay.
A quirk of her. Are you talking about the plant thing? Did you do that? Or did that happen and that's why you chose Chloe?
I am trying to frame this in a way that will make sense to you. As a child, Chloe was exposed to my biological material.
Ew.
Yeah, I was gonna say gross.
So you're like a spore that she inhaled, and now you have sentience. Oh my god, wait, this happened on an episode of Futurama. He ate a sandwich. He ate a sandwich in the bathroom, and it had worms in it, and then they grew in his body. And they made him smart and
Gross.
stuff. But then they were like, it wasn't him, and they were trying to kill him, sort of thing. And then he tried to kill himself, and he just made himself dumber. I'm sorry.
Gross.
Yeah,
Don't
it's a
eat
good
bathroom.
episode.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
So
Don't eat
what? They're
bathroom
just
sandwiches.
they're just like a weird sandwich.
So
Are
it
you weird
was
sandwich spores?
You see that Oleander again looks at Chloe, and Chloe, you feel like a slight tugging in your brain region, and then
Mhm.
Oleander's like, I am not a sandwich.
Okay.
And Chloe, you have the distinct sensation that Oleander just learned about sandwiches from you.
Incredible.
Okay, so your weird spores that planted themselves in Chloe when she was really little, and you she like looks to Chloe, looks back to him. You saved her life and are now leeching off of her life?
I see it more as we are helping each other grow.
Okay.
You know what? Fine. We can help each other grow and everything. But you need to stop with this whole backseat driving deal, all right?
I am simply reaching for the light when it is not being provided to me.
What,
Okay.
like
You're a parasite though. Like you don't get to get the light whenever you want. You rely on Chloe to survive, and it's her body, so like
And she relies on me to survive. To starve me would be to starve Chloe.
So this is like sentient vampire curse then. You gotta feed, and if you don't, it'll do it for you.
oh.
If that is a metaphor that helps you understand.
What happens when one of the vines pierces an organ or strangles the heart or something like that?
whoa, Kevin.
It's a good question.
Do you control where the vines grow?
If the growth reaches that stage, I will be able to supplement.
Meaning what? Because that sounds like you doesn't matter if she lives or dies. You're just gonna do whatever you want anyways.
I cannot survive without Chloe, so it is in my best interest to ensure that she survives.
What happens when the physical entity is more you than Chloe?
You see Oleander give a shrug. You again assume I have some grand scheme. I am organic.
Okay,
Happen.
I pose a scenario to you. When ivy grows on the side of a building, it has no plan. It has just need, light, must grow. But when it grows too much into the side of the building begins to crumble and then it all falls off. And both the building is damaged and the ivy can't survive. So you can't grow too much, otherwise you'll kill the host and you'll both die.
But a building is an inanimate object that cannot change.
And you're not ivy, I'm making a comparison.
Yeah. I'm wondering if this is more of a Ship of Theseus thing. At some point, will you be the front seat driver? Will you be the body? And Chloe will be some part of you that allows you to continue to exist?
Oleander shrugs. This is a unique situation. There is no precedent, and there is no way of knowing how it will end up.
Well, I know how this is gonna end up. You get hungry, you tell me, all right? I'll make sure we get fed. But I decide how that happens, not you.
Oleander considers you for a moment. So long as you can ensure that I don't become... What is the term you'll use? Hangry?
You're gonna have a lot more problems than being hangry if you don't listen to me. All right?
Yeah.
My problems will become your problems, just as your problems become my problems.
I already had problems before I knew you were here, all right? As far as I can tell, you rely on me.
Oleander just quietly observes you, and as this conversation has been going on, trying to think if there should be a role for this or not. I'll just say that like there has been like the oleander plants have continued to grow to the point where like even out of the top of the tree, like those pink flowers are starting to bloom. And it's a very subtle thing, but the oleander form in front of you, though it still at a glance resembles hemlock, has become more and more alien, and not in the friendly Subrina way, but just in the like uncanny valley, like this is making you uncomfortable way.
I do think I want to roll a Pierce the Mask on Oleander. I'm bad at it.
All right, you can certainly give it a shot.
We still got a lot
That's
of
a
team
big
points.
miss.
You cannot spend enough team to bump it up because you can each only spend one.
Whoops.
Yep.
Get a failure. All right.
But you get potential. I think as you are gazing intently at Oleander, the head preternaturally quickly snaps towards you, And like the figure hasn't moved, but just the focus suddenly is very intently on you, Kevin. You would feed me very well.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I wasn't trying to hurt you before, and I don't want to hurt Chloe, but understand, I will defend myself in the future. Don't feed on me again.
Do humans not donate blood to help others?
Donation is one thing. I'm happy to shoot some lasers your way. But feed on me again. And whatever's touching me is getting cut off. That's all I'm saying.
Oleander
Hell,
just
I can cut every plant that comes out of Chloe from now till the day she dies. I can do it from space. You don't want to be my enemy.
Yeah.
interesting choice of words. Till the day she dies.
Yeah.
You may bring about
And if
that day.
you, I'm just saying, you don't want to feed on me.
Yeah, well, this is getting kind of heated. I agree, don't feed on us. Consent is a big thing on this planet and all planets. But I'm just saying, if you're gonna live here, you have to live by some rules. If not, we can figure out something, okay? I'm an alien. She's got, she's very smart, and he's super rich. We can figure it out. We can figure out a way to cut you out, Or maybe even just put her in stasis until there are options. I'm just saying, I'm threatening you right now, is what's happening. So, just know, you don't hold the cards here. We do.
They got a
Oleander was
point.
just looking at you unblinkingly throughout that. And then
You've told us the situation. Your threat is you have our friend hostage, but you've also said if she dies, you die. So your card is you have a suicide button that we don't want you to push. But we got a lot of options outside of that.
I know you're very new to this world and you're very new to consciousness. And I don't want you to think that everyone's out to get you. But you just gotta be better about being a better being.
Once again, Oleander does not really seem to react, just that like unblinking statue before refocusing on Chloe. And at this point now, you all, the two of you certainly notices that like the oleander flowers have started blooming around Chloe's feet. And like they're not growing up around her, but certainly seems like maybe Oleander's making some kind of statement about claiming Chloe. But turns back to you, Chloe, and just says, as long as we are happy and flourishing, none of this will be an issue.
It better not. He's gonna look to the other two. Any questions, guys?
No, I think I know everything I need to.
Yeah. Well, say, obviously, Oleander, we don't understand everything that's going on. And if you're not a threat, I will pose no threat to you. I'll say that. I understand things were hostile there. And I think my intention stands, but there is a world where we can get along. I think.
Oleander kind of cocks their head and offers like a singular, slow nod.
All right, that's all I got.
And then turns one last time to Chloe. And at this point, like, brings up their hands to kind of gently cup your chin. And just says, grow. And then starts to retreat back into the tree.
There's Homer Simpson into the bush.
Yeah.
See, can we wake up now, please?
I can try and manipulate the spell. Give me a
Well,
second.
you mean you can't get us out of here?
I said it would be, based on natural sleep. Whoever's gonna wake up first is gonna, end the spell.
Subrina turns and just slaps Kevin across the face. Wake up! I have a little bit of super strength. I'm tough.
I mean, I'm thinking roll to directly engage a threat.
Dream fight.
Yep. Watch, I get another 12. That's a 6. Roll 20. What the fuck?
I mean, you can take the potential, or we can try and figure out a way to apply some team and get you woken up.
I'll take the potential, unless Kevin, you wanna
No, I mean,
let it affect you more.
Honestly, it's funnier that it's ineffectual.
Yeah.
Wake up! Oh, I'm so sorry.
So it's fine. It didn't hurt. Didn't you say you only sleep for like a really short amount of time? Why don't you just wake up?
I'll try.
We all know we're dreaming, right? Let's just try and wake up. Maybe we can just wake up.
Yeah. Yeah. It probably takes a minute or two, because I don't know if any of you have any actual experience with lucid dreaming or not. You have to practice the skill, but once you do, you can just wake yourself up. And so, unless any of your characters happen to be experienced lucid dreamers,
I don't think Subrina dreams like ever.
I don't lucid dream, but I do become aware in dreams that I'm dreaming, and I'll usually just wake up after, like right after that awareness happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm the same way. As soon as I realize, oh, I'm dreaming, it's like, boing.
Yeah, so it does not take long, but there is a bit where you're all just kind of awkwardly standing around looking at each other. But eventually, one of you wakes up, and it is the morning. So even though it does not feel like that long has passed in the dreamscape, it's early morning, given that it is probably Subrina that wakes up first after some micro sleep. But it has been longer than it felt like in the dreamscape.
Well, which is opposite of how dreams normally.
I feel more tired. Why is that?
Well, probably our brains were still working.
Sometimes talking to people is exhausting.
So I don't know how everyone else feels coming out of that conversation, but I would say I have some feelings of concern.
How do
Perhaps
you feel,
even
Chloe?
worry.
I mean, you guys are gonna think that this is weird. but not much has changed for me.
Where did you start? I just don't know where you were for things to not have changed. I don't know what that means.
I mean, I always knew that I had a condition, and now I still have a condition. It's just that it's like a weird vampire plant thing that wants to feed and grow.
But your condition has a consciousness.
Yeah, that's the weird part, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So it can be
So now
just
when I
like Jebri can learn and grow.
Mhm.
Yeah, but Jebri hasn't like been the reason that I'm in pain and like anticipating bad things for my entire life. I've got kind of a grudge, honestly.
I mean, yeah, you should.
Also, I do very much worry because I mean, you're only going to grow so much, if at all, anymore. I mean, you're 18ish, might not have much more growing to do in terms of physical growth.
Chloe, kind of moody, sort of stands up and starts packing her things.
Does this thing know what you know?
It can. It didn't know what a sandwich was before.
Okay.
Look, Chloe, I don't want to like have to like sneak and plan things behind your back. What do you want? Like, do you want us to try and figure out how to get this thing out of you? We can't let it hurt things. I mean, that's our job.
No, you're right. I guess I just have to try and make nice with it. And if it goes wrong enough, then we let the paladins know and they can deal with it.
Why don't we just let the paladins know? Maybe they have experience with something like this. Or maybe they have someone whose powers are much better suited to deal with it than ours.
I don't really want to get poked and prodded by the paladins research team. And honestly, what are they going to do?
I don't know. I don't know what they can do.
Well, it's kind of Chloe's private business, so.
Let me put it this way. We tell the paladins the best thing that they can probably do for me is put me in a box and make sure that this thing doesn't get out. And I don't really want to spend the rest of my life in a box. So can you guys just let me try and figure this out?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I should be fair and say that can only go so far. I feel like you pose a significant danger to others, and I think I have to say something at some point. But from what I've seen right now, you're fine.
I'm gonna figure this out.
But you don't need to do it alone. You know.
She nods.
I mean, now you know that we can go into your dreams and we can talk to it together. We could probably fight it together if we had to.
I mean, would it do anything in the dream? Fine.
I mean, I obviously have some control here.
Yeah.
Like, it's not using my powers most of the time, it's me. So gonna work it out.
We're gonna figure this out. For sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Is anybody interested in going for French toast?
Yeah. I mean, I can always eat.
I know this place that does it with banana bread.
It's very early. Maybe we could go. I mean, we go somewhere where it's not very early.
What do you mean?
We can fly there. Like, there's different times of day.
There's different time zones on this planet? That's so weird.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, though. Like, we could fly there. I don't know if they'll have French toast there.
We could go to France. I mean, it's not a school day.
But do they actually do French toast, or is it just crepes over there? I don't know anything about France.
Do they not do French? Do they have French fries though? They have French fries.
They don't
Probably don't
call
call
it
them
French
that.
fries. Yeah.
Well, I've never been to France, so I don't know these things. Do you guys want to go?
The most I know about French cuisine is there's a sandwich. I forget what its name is in French, but it translates in English to Mr. Cheese.
Ooh.
Oh, Sabrina can speak French. I was like, Senor. Nope.
Oh shoot! No, Sabrina. Should we go to France?
Fromage. Oh, you know what? Fuck, I have been to France. Sabrina fucking grew up in CERN.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. Like,
Yeah,
ignore
wait,
it. I was being
CERN in
silly.
France?
Yeah, it is. Sorry.
Can the Kirby craft achieve supersonic speeds, though?
No, it would be like slightly faster than a commercial flight, maybe.
Yeah, so this would become like your whole weekend would be
Yes.
getting to France and back.
What if we get into the Kirby craft and then Kevin gets out and pushes?
Yeah.
They just fall apart.
Yeah, I don't know if the Kirby craft could withstand that. And then Gareth would be coming along with you.
Gareth doesn't have a
Oh, yeah, that
passport. Okay, well, okay, France is
I could
Fran-
go to France, get French food, and bring it back here.
that sounds great.
Yeah,
That
now you're
actually
thinking.
sounds amazing. Can you get, how old are we? How old are you?
Like, you're 18-ish now.
Mm-hmm. Can you get, they have this, like, this chocolate liqueur. It's, like, basically just chocolate milk with, like, a little bit of, liquor in it.
I think we might have to look up the places I want to get things from, so I'm not just wandering around France
Okay,
trying
okay.
to find things when I don't speak French.
I know a couple of great places, and I can write down a few phrases for you since I speak French.
Okay.
Let's see. Couple of things I do want to point out.
Monsieur
Yes.
Fromage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Cheese.
That's what it would be literally, but I think it would be a croque monsieur
Yeah.
as
yeah,
the
that's what
actual
it-
thing.
Yeah.
But just a brief reminder of like power scope is like for Kevin to really get there and back in a reasonable time would probably need to like roll pretty well on like unleash your powers because you are
Got it.
still new to these powers.
I'll try
and-
it.
Yeah. Because yeah, I guess another thing to keep in mind is like, you all are still like teenagers, and so thinking more in lines of like, you know, the Teen Titans power level, and not, you know, you may be a essentially Superman clone, but you would be more like, you know, a kid
Connor.
Clark Kent.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, a miss. I don't make it in time.
Yeah.
You're really tired. We didn't actually sleep well last night.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think you get outside, you start flying, and you are not nearly as stable as you should be. And you're like, oh, I would probably like crash into the Atlantic Ocean if I tried this, so maybe not.
I have the power. I don't have the control. I'm like going all over the place.
Yep. And then on top of that, as you return to the others, it's like, sorry guys, not happening. You all get messages on your paladin's communication devices, and the message that you have is, they give you a time because they recognize it's still early, so it's like, once it's 9 a.m. or whatever, please report to Paladin's HQ. Paragal would like to speak with you.
Oh damn! Yes.
And that is where we are going to end things tonight. So, first session back in like half a year. Not quite, but almost.
Yeah, holy what?
Yeah. So we got some end of session things to do. Also, before I forget, Chloe, you probably need to mark another Doom track for talking so openly about your Doom.
Yeah, there was a lot of talking about that Doom, huh?
Yep. How's
It's a
your Doom track
Doom-heavy
looking?
episode.
It's about half full at this point.
Yep, and you've got one more Doom to mark, technically two, but the last one is your Doom arrives, confront it, and perish.
Woo!
Yep. Okay, so as a reminder for the end of session things, we didn't do anything with shifting labels during the session, but at the end of every session, choose one of the following. You grow closer to the team. Explain who made you feel welcome, give influence to that character, and clear a condition or mark potential. If the person already has influence over you, they get to shift your labels one up, one down. You can also grow into your own image of yourself. Explain how you see yourself and why, shift one label up and another label down, or you grow away from the team. Explain why you feel detached, take influence over you away from another character. And then as you think about these, also think about your stars and wishes, which, as a reminder, a star is something you want to shout out another player at the table tonight that you did something that you thought was really cool for whatever reason or another. Could just be a silly goof, or could be a good moment of RP. And then a wish is something that you would like to see happen in the game, whether or not it is realistic that it could come up. And so whenever y'all are ready, let us know how your character is evolving and your stars and wishes.
So I think that Subrina grew closer to the team. I think obviously to Chloe a little bit more. And I think my star for the evening is, did Roz suggest streamwalking or did we?
I think I took
Was that something you had
notes.
planned? Because I went back and I was like, because my star is for you, Alex, for pulling that out, because that was a big, like, wing it moment. And then I was like, wait a minute, did Roz suggest that and he planned that the whole time? But I don't think so.
It certainly wasn't planned.
Yeah.
I suggested it at the start. That was one of my two ideas, and then I came up with the yes or no
okay.
as a third that we ended up doing.
So well done for the idea. Well done for the execution. My wish is more kissing. Sabrina's wish is more kissing. I always, it never happens. So here I keep going.
All right. I'm
Look,
putting
my boyfriend
more
lives in
kissing.
Korea. What do you want from me?
Putting more
No,
kissing in all caps.
No. What? My first boyfriend moved to Korea. My second boyfriend is in the witness protection program. I'm trying to smooch, guys. It's not working. Y'all got to do something, okay?
Also, didn't he break up with you before he went into
That's
the
right,
witness
he did.
protection program?
Thank you for reminding me of getting my heart broken. Yeah.
I can go.
Or so you said you grew closer to
Oh, that's right.
Kevin, and
No, Chloe.
or to Chloe. Chloe, do you already have influence over Sabrina?
I do.
Mhm.
So you get to shift her labels one up, one down.
All right, let me rustle around in your character sheet. I'm gonna say a good mundane can go up because there was a lot of social stuff today. I'm gonna lower your superior because it was being nice. There was a lot of being nice stuff, and I don't think you're acted superior at all.
Roger.
Yeah, I would certainly agree that with all the the focusing on smooching, that's very mundane stuff to think about. All right, David, you were gonna go.
Okay, yeah. So I was a little torn on what to do with the growing closer or growing away, but I think by default I have to go growing closer to the team because we literally went into Chloe's dreams.
Yep.
And I'm gonna have to say Chloe, group closer to Chloe.
Oh my god. This is so much responsibility. Okay, Kevin, I'm gonna do the same thing to you. You're gonna get +1 mundane, -1 superior. You guys had the exact same stats. All right.
And then stars and wishes. I think my star is gonna go to I think also Chloe because everyone else was kind of having like a fun time, and Chloe was like in the middle of a drama, and it was kind of fun to see that difference in like how the scenes were playing out because like Chloe's back there like looking into her illness, and we're all like, "What about ice cream?" And so it was just a good dynamic.
Yes, good. Be distracted by ice cream while I do things that I don't want you to know about.
And my wish is for the meeting with Paragal to be like something like dramatic in a sense of like it's a fun something's it's not just like, oh hey, nice to meet you, handshake. Like it doesn't have to be bad, doesn't have to be good, just dramatic.
Yep, don't worry, I've got something ready for that. That was maybe gonna happen tonight, but other stuff came up. But that's how these games go, and that's part of why I am a pantser. If you think about riding by the seat of your pants, I have plans, but they are malleable.
You didn't plan on us spending the entire time just being like, nope, it's time to solve the Chloe mystery.
No, I mean, I was ready for that possibility, but it was not one of the things I had specifically prepped going back to LB's star. Like, I didn't have any of that planned, but it's...
I mean, it was also entirely possible that you guys would have gone, hey, Chloe, what was up with that? And she'd be like, I don't want to talk about it. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, it's a possibility. Well, yeah, that's me.
All right.
Very good.
I am digging through mechanics to see if there was anything that we should have resolved as far as social mechanics go from the previous scene. You didn't have to roll anything while you were having the conversation with Chloe about whether or not she should go to the Paladins for it.
Don't think so.
Because her saying no felt an awful lot like rejecting influence.
Well, so let me double check. So,
I think
that
couldn't we have
is
tried to leverage our influence to make you do it?
yeah. So if they had explicitly
I mean-
tried to use influence, then you could reject influence.
Got it.
Um,
All right.
Yeah, because it's more of a since all adults have influence over you, it's more of if they tell you to do something, then you can attempt to reject their influence. But
Got
since
it.
you all have it as like a token for each other, you have to
All right.
intentionally use it.
Well, in the case of our starter end of session thing, I want to say that thematically, like the team has grown closer overall. But I think that this revelation has caused Chloe to kind of retreat more into herself. So I'm gonna say she grew away from the team. And like all of these revelations just have her feeling more angsty and detached and like she's not feeling too good, you guys. And I'm specifically going to take influence away from Kevin.
Fair enough. And do you have your stars and wishes?
I want to say that you guys did really good in the conversation with Oleander. Because that's a whole bag of worms to try and unravel. I think you guys did a really good job on that. As far as wishes go, I am also really interested in how this Paragal thing is going to shake out. I really do hope that Subrina gets some kisses. But I'm curious to see how this goes.
All right. And then for me, I mean, my star is also similar to what Wing said of just like how everyone handled the Oleander conversation, but specifically like how protective Sabrina and Kevin got of like, hey, Chloe's our friend, you better not mess with her. And despite Oleander's apparent dismissal, that you all still stuck to your guns on that. And then wish. This is more of a me thing, but like the past 2 or 3 sessions, I've been meaning to get into like, hey, homecoming's coming up at school, and so getting back into the more civilian stuff and having that be a complication, and less having it all be about your super heroics. But yeah, that is going to do it for us here tonight. We went a little bit over time, but first game back in a while, so I hope you'll forgive us. You better forgive us. I can't tell you what to do. What I can tell you is that the next time this channel will be live will be on Thursday with Elegant Creatures, our Monster of the Week game. And our schedule is beneath our faces if you're here live on Twitch. Otherwise, it's pinned to our socials, and you should check it out and come hang out with us in Discord. Usually we're posting about memes and jokes and stuff, and also screaming into the void at life in general. But that's going to do it for us. We'll be back in 2 weeks. And so until next time, good games and good night, Internet.
you